quick tour of the simulator. Let's start with the spotlights up top there, because I'm going to switch off. I'll switch on the big light now, so it's better lighting for the video. But you can briefly see what's going on here in the untidy garage with the washing and the workbench and everything around. But hey, it works. An awesome thing is the garage door can open with the projector. It opens just below the projector, and yeah, these ropes are what you saw that I tie up the screen with when it gets packed away. Although we're not parking the cars in the garage at the moment, so it stays, the simulator stays up permanently. But yeah, let me walk you through the simulator. So I'm going to switch on the big light so you can see better. And what we've got is basically an impact screen off of Temu, built on a around a PVC, thick wall PVC frame, and cable ties tying everything together. But it's pretty well done with. Eventually put in a steel bar at the bottom here, so that's steel, and then these aircon duct or aircon pipe covers that cover that, and then we've got nice attached screws for the simulator screen, the impact screen, so that it sits nice and tight. And then you can see at the top it's got a similar setup, so it's tied around the pole, and then each hole in the impact screen is tied nicely, screwed in nicely to the PVC pipe at the top. I probably need to replace that top pipe with a steel pipe as well, because it does sag a little bit. So it gives this nice finish, and you can see what it looks like. So there you can see a bit of PVC, so I can just move these protectors a little bit that way to hide that. But yeah, nice clean finish. Looks good from there. The side walls are just photography backdrop material from Temu, quite cheap. And I just added these eyelets to be able to use the cable ties to tie them. Did that at the bottom as well, and that just sits nicely there to catch any shanks, so that I don't break a washing machine or tumble dryer. And then at the top I've used what is essentially soundproofing foam, or sound isolation, sound reduction foam on the roof there to protect the ceiling, although we've already got one knock over there and another one over here from drivers going all over the show, but that's part of life for the simulator. Just got some sponge here, extra some of this sponge to stop the balls from rolling all over the place in the garage as they come off the screen. And yeah, nice tray. We have to use these special RCT Titleist Pro V1 balls. These are Pro V1X. RCT balls are radar capture technology, so they work, or they make the Garmin R10 launch monitor work better, and yeah, just to detect the spin better. So you can see it's on a stand, the R10 launch monitor, because it just operates so much better when it's exactly level. So what you do is you put it on a stand with a spirit level, and you make sure it's properly level, and these screws help you to do that. You can see what the stand kind of looks like. Oh, there's another ball. So that makes the R10 a lot more accurate than what you see in some videos online. So I'm actually very happy with it, and the other people that use it with me are also pretty happy with the accuracy. Everything nicely charged up and powered over there. And yeah, the projector is just an Epson it's an EB E01. It's a really cheap 1024x768 XGA, I think it is, projector, but it works super well. It doesn't, it's not a short throw projector, but you can see on the screen that only when I stand at the station upright, then a little bit of my head will come into the screen. But if I lean over to play a shot, then I hardly get any shadow on the screen there. And if I use a driver, then I'm standing further away from the hitting mat, and so they're completely out of the screen. But the nice thing is, even if you're standing hitting a wedge, I'm not really too concerned about my shadow over there, because I'm focusing on playing the shot. So while I'm leaning forward, it sort of looks like that, and that's fine. So yeah, you can use a normal projector. We had to build a special mount for it, as you can see, with some acrylic or this polycarbonate sheets, plastic, just to extend it downward somewhat, because my projector arm that I bought off of TV is too short, but that works pretty well. One of the things we had to do for the project was lift up the garage door motor, so it's out the way. It was a little bit lower than it is now, but it actually works out pretty fine. And you can see a little bit of the shadow of the garage door motor just at the top of the screen there, but it's hardly even noticeable, and it doesn't even have an impact at all. And then in terms of the brains in the system, is just running an iPad Pro 12.9 inch with a USB-C adapter, with power and HDMI to the projector. And yeah, it's so easy to set up. You just plug it in, and the iPad automatically detects the projector, and you're good to go. And that's an iPad Pro 12.9 M2, which works fine with E6. So the Garmin launch monitor, so the Garmin R10, comes with E6 Connect licenses, which is awesome, because otherwise E6 Connect is quite expensive if you have to purchase it. It only comes with 5 courses though, which is actually fine for me. I don't need 43,000 courses, because who's ever going to play 43,000 courses? So I actually spend very little of my time playing sim golf. Most of my time in the sim I spend using Awesome Golf, and using something like a range with approach shots, and that gives me a whole range of different greens to aim for, different distances. So it simulates proper approach shots. I even sometimes will use my driver on a 250 meter green to try and embed the idea of tight aiming, tight targeting with drivers, and then obviously playing a whole different range of clubs here. I even practice my chipping over here from 15 meters and up. I can chip at this 28 meter target, just to work out those carry distances and get consistency. But this is a really great software that works. It's very accurate, and it's got really advanced features as well. If you want to do shot by shot analysis, for example, I can't show you all the detail now, but you can select which club you're going to use, and this is where I practice driver. So I've got a range on the left here, and then it's got all sorts of information about my shot trajectory, how far it went, where it landed, and then all kinds of data like carry, total distance, how far it rolled, what the ball speed, club speed, vertical launch height, all of that stuff, spin rates, the spin axis, club path, angles, and things like that. So this is more than enough information for me to be able to do proper analysis of my game. And then there's also this coaching feature, which I haven't actually used in quite a while, but this gives you a little bit more detail, and I'll actually show you pretty much your swing path, club face angle versus swing path, so you can see if you're drawing the ball, fading the ball, why it's happening, and very useful for analysis. So got my golf bag here with all the clubs, a couple of things in the plastic container. I showed you that we can swap out the turf, so I've currently got the rough turf in. There's the more normal fairway type turf, but yeah, it's great to have this, and we're using it every day at the moment. So one last thing I want to show you quickly is this awesome Sportsbox software that I use. So what I do is I mount my phone on a tripod just on that side, and you can see how far it's mounted from where I'm standing. Here's where I'm hitting the ball. And what this software does is it gives me all kinds of objectives and stats about my swing. So if I take maintain posture in backswing, that's what it told me I need to work on after it did an assessment of me. Then I'm going to hit a 7-iron, and I'm going to start. It's a face on, and
move to your right.
Talks to me, quite annoying, but yeah, that's good.
Move to your right.
Turn the lighting on so that it's better, and then we just aim it correctly, and I move the
Move to your right.
Move the washing line completely out the way. Okay, there we go.
Move
So-
to your right.
Now I can take a swing, and
Move to
what
your
it's going to do
right.
is give me some data. So the component that I'm busy working on, the element I'm working on, is to try and I'm trying to keep my chest down in my backswing. I don't know if you're going to be able to see very well what I'm doing, but anyway, just bear with me as I take a swing. Yeah, that went pretty well. Aiming at a 155 meter target, carried 129, or a 151 meter target, carried 129. So not a great connection, but that works. So I've also got awesome golf on here in the approach shots mode. So I'm aiming at 151 meter green there with my 7-iron. But now what I've got is, this thing has given me some stats. So I've got a 2.4 inch chest lift on that. I'm just going to turn the sound off here.
Move to your right.
Annoy us. The 2.4 inch chest lift at the top of my swing. So now I can go to the swing itself and I can actually have an exact look at what happened. And I can move this 3D model around so I can see myself from any angle. And I like going with the down the line view, and then I watch both at the same time, and I can see exactly why it says I'm lifting up my chest, and I'm always looking for, am I coming over the ball? So you can see my hands there are definitely coming over the ball, so I've still got a lot of work to do. And then what is the impact looking like? Okay, so that's great, but what's very important is I can also add more data. So I can have a look at, like, I'm monitoring my chest turn at the top of my swing to try and get it all the way up to 90 degrees. And then I'm going to have a look at my sway. I'm looking at my pelvis sway at the top. That's an important number for me because I don't want to move my hips back. This is the actual data from the swing now. And then I want to see my pelvis and chest sway at impact. So we're going to go chest sway at impact, pelvis sway at impact. And I'm going to also look at my, well, we've got lift already. So my turn, I'm looking at my pelvis turn at impact as well. Let's have a look at that, 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm doing pretty well there. But now I've got all the data together on one screen. So top left is chest lift top. Then I've got the chest turn. I want to bring my pelvis sway top there, that's good. Then I want the pelvis turn and impact up here, so I just move it around, and then chest sway and pelvis sway at impact. Okay, so now as I'm swinging, I can have a look at all that data, and it can tell me exactly what I'm doing that's getting certain results. So let's do another swing quickly and see what kind of result we get here. So I'm going to try and keep my chest down a little bit now, so 2.4 inches. Let's try and lower it. Okay, that was definitely lower. I could feel it. Got more into my hip over here to try and get that number down. Let's see what it says. Yep, look at that. 1.3 inches chest lift at the top, 81 degrees chest turn. So I need to focus on getting my chest turned more, which is something I've been working on now. Pelvis sway at the top is pretty good. It's staying pretty center, which is great. And then you can see my pelvis turn at impact is definitely not enough. But I'm pretty happy with the ratio between the chest sway at impact and the pelvis sway at impact, because it means my pelvis is definitely moving ahead of my chest. So that's great. Once again, if I analyze the swing, I can see key details. Like I'm trying to work with Roger, my coach, to get my club at position 2 on the downswing over there, trying to get the club more in line with my right arm, but obviously it's not enough yet. So I'm working hard on that, making sure that I keep improving my swing, and this is how we use data to achieve that.